you often would bring in, especially through Anne, it was almost like they were phrases that I wondered if they tied into you at all, because they would be like things she would suddenly remember about her grandfather, phrases that her grandfather had said.
Yeah.
And is there any tie into you with that, or is that just?
Some of them came from mother. I mean, they didn't say in the book, "Do this or I'll biff you." That. But there were some of them she said. There's others that I think they came to me, and I thought, well, how would that be worded in 1918? And well, like one of them, Anne is faced with some enemies, and she says, "I remember something that my grandpa told me. If you're outnumbered, tell them what they want to hear." And that's, I just made sense to me, and so it would depend. It depends.
One of them I liked was about anger.
Yes.
Let it out. People can get hurt, but try to hold it inside, and it'll pop out in ways you don't expect. I loved that phrase, and I also loved this. This was not a phrase, but this was something that Anne kept saying. Something like, "I want to cry, but not today."
Yeah.
And that to me, why that phrase for you?
Because every time this happens, she's hurting. What I wanted to show as well is I wanted to show a little girl growing into a young woman who is as tough as nails, and she's in a world where women have no say. She still has feelings. She's a young girl. She could cry. There's one time, well, she bites her lip and clenches her fist, and she just holds it like this until the tears pass, and she says, "I could cry today, but I won't. I won't cry today," and she goes on. And so that's actually her way of delaying.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was actually profound, because every time she would say that, you could see the determination and the perseverance, and that this woman was focused, and she was a young girl.
Yes.
So some of the actions of some of the characters mirror what has happened in the economic world in years past. So talk about that a little bit too.
The banks, I think I focused on the fact that the banks back then were engaged in things, well, I don't want to say they back then similar to now, but there was a resemblance or similarity. Banks, well, giving loans to people who they knew could not possibly pay the interest or the mortgage. And so I thought, well, this is a smaller scale, but predatory lending is bad now, and it's certainly is what they were out to do in a smaller level in Winfield, or in, say, my Winfield, at that time. In other words, use crop money and con people into buying land, low interest, then about midway through, raise the interest, kick them off the land, sell it again, and start all over again. And it's similar. It is.
Yeah, it's sad similar, right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.